We just can't get away from this anxiety around the trade story, Larry. And I think people found it encouraging this week that talks are going to happen. Can you just walk me through the timeline for these talks? And I'm trying to understand whether these talks are contingent on tariffs not going up again in October. Have the Chinese asked for that?
No, not at the moment. Look, all that's happened, and it's very positive developments. Secretary Mnuchin, Ambassador Lighthizer on the phone with Vice Premier Liu He. They decided that the Chinese team would, in fact, come to the U.S. That will be preceded, Jonathan, a deputies meeting. Chinese deputies team will come to the U.S., I guess, in a week or two in September to meet with our deputies. They will hammer out an agenda with key discussion points. And then I guess in early October, the precise date is yet to be set. Our principal negotiators, again, Secretary Mnuchin, Ambassador Lighthizer, will sit down with Vice Premier Liu He and his others to talk about the deal. Look, I have maintained, or I have tried to maintain through a kind of long summer here, that while President Trump continues his defense of the American worker and the American economy, President Trump is a very tough negotiator. I hope people appreciate that now. The other part of the story is that we're talking. And Kudlow axiom, it's always better to talk than not to talk. President Trump has indicated he would take a deal as long as it's a good deal for this country. President also believes that China wants a deal. You know, coming back to the job numbers, you made that linkage, and it's an important linkage. Our economy is humming. The Chinese economy is not. And we believe that they want to make a deal. And so let us see how these negotiations turn out. I don't want to forecast. I don't want to predict. All I can say is sitting down and talking is always a good thing. And the phone calls were very constructive. So let's see. Let's keep an open mind. Let's even try to be optimistic.
So, Larry, I just want to get a bit more clarity on the process. The ministerial level talks that will happen in the coming weeks here in the United States, do you need to see anything come from them to get to the next level, to get to the talks in October? Or do the talks in October happen regardless of what happens at the ministerial level in the coming weeks?
Well, no, there are no conditions. There are no conditions. They're coming to talk, and we welcome them with open arms to talk. Look, a bit of context here, Jonathan. We thought we were close last May. You may recall. You and I have talked about this in the interim. We thought we were close, maybe 90% there. The key issues remain on the table, right? The so-called structural issues, IP theft, forced transfer of technology, cloud technology, cyber interference, and, of course, the trade, the tariff and non-tariff barriers regarding commodities, energy, agriculture, and so forth. We thought we were close. Then the talks broke off. China pulled back for whatever reason. I'm not here to second guess it. I don't even want to go into motives. We would like, I can say this, our team would like to go back and pick up where we left off in the May talks. Whether that will be possible remains to be seen. I don't want to predict it. All I know is we got a new round of talks, and I think that's a very hopeful development.
Larry, just to jump in, because I know we're pushed for time, do you think there's any chance that the October tariff increase could be delayed, could be pushed back?
I don't want to speculate at all on that. That, of course, is the president's decision.
Is that part of the conversation?
It may be part of the conversation. There'll be a lot of things as part of that conversation. I'm sure tariffs will enter into it, along with the other issues that I just mentioned a few moments ago.
The reason I asked, Larry, is because there would be ministerial talks before the high-level talks happen in October, and of course we would have to make that decision in the next couple of weeks. Is that on the table for the ministerial level talks in the coming weeks?
I will simply respond by saying President Trump is, as I think we know now, a very tough and crafty negotiator. He has shown his willingness to use tariffs as part of this whole negotiating process. The best I can do is to paraphrase what he has been saying. We want to see results. We would like to see results in the near term. When we don't see results, we take additional actions. On the other hand, if we do see results from these upcoming meetings, then progress will be made, as best I can tell you. And look, I said a few moments ago from these jobs numbers today, America is working. America is producing. Our economy is quite strong. Things like productivity is rising, as well as wages and so forth. We need to protect that. We are the world's leader in technology, invention, innovation, application, and new business startups. We are the world's leader.
And Larry, these are really important topics, and I know you're going to address them in the talks in the coming months.
Technology is our family jewels, and we must protect America on that. That's the president's point of view.
This is a take from China, Larry, that I want you to weigh in on. The editor of China's Global Times, viewed by many as being a mouthpiece for the Communist Party, tweeted this earlier this week, and I'd love your input on it. Personally, I think the US is worn out by the trade war. It may no longer hope for crushing China's will. There's more possibility of a breakthrough between the two sides. Just how wrong is that statement, Larry?
Yeah, well, my response to that is never underestimate the strength of this country or the strength of this president. President Trump is doing what presidents have not done in the last 20, 25 years. He sees the unfair trading practices. He wants to protect our country, our workforce, our technology, our farmers, whatever. He is not going to relent. And by the way, in sheer political terms, I think the president has enormous support with respect to a rebalance and a big change in our relationship with China. Jonathan, this is an economic issue. This is a technology issue. This is a fair trade issue. This is a national security issue. This is also a human rights issue. So those people in China or any place else who underestimate the strength and determination of the United States, they are making a very, very big mistake.